right, guys, we are starting off 2023 woods improvements. And why not start in the island? This was some of the goals I had last year, and just couldn't get them done. I decided just to go ahead and drop this one myself, and it landed right where I wanted it to, so I should have just went ahead and cut it last year. The only mistake is the way it peeled off the tree right there. And I actually had cut literally right under my initial cut by just a half an inch, and it just peeled the tree off when it came through. So I actually cut too steep and barely missed my mark. So that's what happens if you don't put take an initial cut and cut you a ring in the front right here, and it keeps it from peeling off like this. But it's a maple tree that I really don't care about, so it's not like I'm upset with myself. But if that happened to be a tree I wanted to keep, I've done way too much unnecessary damage to it. Over here, hickory tree out of the way finally, and he fell just about where I wanted him to go. Actually, I don't think it could have fell any better. I was hoping it'd fall on my future burn pile here, but that's okay. I'll just cut it up into sections and get rid of it. The biggest improvement by far is what I done back here. Remember, my goal this year is to free up oak trees. So on this end, I cut that wavy oak down. So I removed a tree that I don't think is that good a quality of tree, and eventually I think this pine tree, I can get permission to remove that. She's starting to understand more and more of what's going on as far as how I'm drawing deer in. So here I have done a major benefit to this tree. So this black gum is of no longer a problem except for the roots. Now I'm going to do, I don't have my brushes with me, I forgot to bring it, but for anybody that doesn't want to do resprouts, you want to kill your tree completely, the best method is, after this tree is cut, in order to save money and not waste a lot of it, when you take your herbicide, don't spray over this whole cut. This is what they call heartwood. In the middle here, this is already dead. Everything from here until you get right there is dead wood. So if you have your herbicide that you're wanting to apply to this stump, you only need to apply this in a ring. You don't have to cover the whole stump. If you have blue dye, that to me is the best. And the reason you want to put dye in here is because you'll get you might forget what stumps you treated, which ones you didn't. And it's so much easier when you see dried blue dye on stumps. Oh, I hit that one. I don't have to come back to it. And that prevents you from wasting even more money and time. So simply take your brush. It could be an inch wide brush, and just cut, paint a ring around it, and your tree will die. And that's how you save a lot of money and get the maximum coverage with your spray if you're wanting to do that. So here, let's talk about new potential. This white oak right here has a whole new skyline now, and you can see the damage or hindrance that the black gum has done to this oak. It really stands out a whole lot more. See, look at that. All them limbs on that side are shaved off. They're gone. They died due to lack of sunlight. And now this tree has a very nice hole that's about to get even bigger when I get done with it here, because this poplar tree here is going to go, and this one and this one here are going to be gone here pretty soon. I just had a short window to cut what I could this evening, and then I got to get back to the house. But this tree now has a far better potential grade than what it used to. So I have removed a sunlight blocker. I am also removing a major nutrient sucker, because this black gum was growing very, very healthy. So it's pulling a lot of nutrients out of the ground, and now it won't be. So after the video's over, I will apply glyphosate. Now, not all trees will die from glyphosate, and to be honest, I'm not sure black gum will. So I'm going to do a test run, because that's all I've got is glyphosate, and it's just so expensive. If it works, then we'll just move on to the next tree. Same thing with the poplar tree. Glyphosate, I've seen them die from that in the past. I'm not too worried about it. But I got one wild cherry, one more poplar to cut down here. And I can already tell the amount of sunlight in here looks so much better. I've got a nice big old hole over there by that pine that was not there. That was a complete canopy job. And now we have a great big gap. So that's really going to benefit this back end and help that to grow a lot more. And don't be fooled by what you're seeing here. There's actually a lot of young baby greenery in here, and it's just now starting to take off. The more of these trees I remove, the better this will get, because that's less competition in the soil, and that leaves some more nutrients in the soil, or the oak trees have more nutrients to take up. So however you want to look at that, it's a benefit either way. There's some other trees that I'm wanting to cut. Obviously that snag's high priority on my list, but I have to have a helper in order to do that. Now on these trees right here, real quickly, I'm actually going to leave these laying for a little while, because I want these to dry out. And because of road access, I'm going to cut the tops off the ones laying across the road, so that way mom and dad are still happy they can drive back here. But I intend to leave the tops laying here. Two reasons. One, I want this to help dry the tree out faster, but these are already swollen buds, and these deer will eat these. So I'm at least giving a small dose of food here for the deer, and I guarantee you this will be probably nibbled on in less than 3 or 4 days. They'll come over here, sniff it, and start eating the buds. But this is just the start of the improvements. And I had one issue there. I was trying to avoid hitting the maple, and was trying to drop it right over here, and it literally just barely caught that limb right here, and it sucked it right down the V of the maple tree. I barely missed my mark on that one, but what can you do? I'm not too concerned the fact that I've got a few scars on that maple. I really don't care on them. But anyway, it's a big blocker that's out of the way, and I believe this will benefit a whole lot more now that there's a huge hole here. All right, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Obviously, there's a lot more woods improvements to do here, but this is just the start of it, and I don't know how far I'm going to get this year, but the goal is to open up as many oak trees as possible. So it's probably going to be a couple of year process before I can get all this done, but I intend to do a good chunk of it this year. So I hope this video helps you. I hope I give you some nice tips to use, and you all have a great day.